The lamp on the rough pine table flickered as the wind pressed against the cabin walls. Outside, the prairie was black and endless, the kind of darkness that swallowed footsteps and secrets alike. Inside, Clara folded her shawl with careful hands, as if neatness could keep her heart from trembling. "I'll leave at dawn," she said softly. Ethan froze near the stove. He had been pretending to mend a broken hinge, though it had been fixed hours ago. Her words landed heavier than any hammer. He didn't turn around at first. Pride had taught him that if you didn't face pain, it couldn't bruise you. "That's what you came for," he said finally, voice rough. "A place. A chance. You've had it." Clara swallowed. "I came to be a wife." Silence filled the room. The mail-order letters, the careful promises, the stiff politeness when she arrived, every memory hung between them like smoke. He had read her letters during long winter nights, imagining warmth, imagining someone choosing him. But when she stepped off the train, thin from travel, eyes too honest, something inside him had panicked. He had seen disappointment before. He had grown up with it. "You don't want me," she continued, steadier now. "I see it. You barely look at me. You eat alone even when I cook. I won't stay where I'm unwanted." Ethan turned then. The lamplight carved deep lines into his face. "You think I rejected you because I don't want you?" She gave a sad smile. "Isn't that what rejection means?" He laughed once, sharp and humorless. "You don't know what it means to lose someone because you wanted them too much." Clara's fingers tightened around the shawl. "Then tell me." He didn't answer. Instead, he walked past her and pulled the heavy wooden door open. Cold air rushed in, making the lamp flame dance wildly. For a moment, Clara thought he was showing her the way out. But then he stepped outside, scanned the darkness, and slammed the door shut again. The iron bar scraped loudly as he slid it into place. Clara stared. "What are you doing?" Ethan leaned his forehead against the door, breathing hard. "You're not leaving." Her voice rose. "You can't stop me. I can stop you from going alone." She felt fear spark, then confusion. "Alone?" He turned, eyes fierce but not cruel. "You think the prairie cares about dawn? About your pride? Wolves don't wait for daylight. Men worse than wolves pass through these lands." "I've traveled before," she said, though her voice wavered. "Not like this," he replied. "Not from here." They stood facing each other, the air thick with unsaid things. Finally, Clara sank into a chair. "Then what do you want from me, Ethan?" He closed his eyes. "I want you safe." "That's not enough," she whispered. He opened his eyes again, and for the first time since she arrived, she saw fear in them. "Real fear. It's all I know how to offer." Morning came slowly, pale light creeping through frost-lined windows. Clara had barely slept. Neither had Ethan. When the sun finally pushed above the horizon, she stood and reached for her coat. "I won't sneak away," she said. "I promised myself dignity." Ethan nodded. "I'll hitch the wagon." She blinked. "You're coming." I said, "Not alone." They traveled in silence at first, the wagon wheels crunching over frozen ground. The town was miles away, but closer than the unknown. As the sun climbed, Clara finally spoke. "Why did you answer my letters if you were afraid?" Ethan stared ahead. "Because when you wrote about wanting a home, I thought maybe I could give that without giving myself." She smiled sadly. "That's not how homes work." "I know," he said. Now, they stopped near a line of cottonwoods where the road split. Beyond lay the path to town. Ethan pulled the reins and halted. "The wagon. This is far enough," he said. Clara stepped down, boots sinking into soft earth. She turned to him, heart aching despite her resolve. "Thank you for the ride." He didn't move. "If you go, I won't stop you." She nodded. "I know. But," he added, voice cracking, "if you stay, I'll try. I don't promise easy. I don't promise romance from storybooks. But I promise honesty. And effort." Her breath caught. "Is that what you barred the door for last night?" He shook his head. "No, I barred it because I was afraid I'd lose you before I found the courage to speak." Tears welled in her eyes. "You rejected me before you ever let me choose." He climbed down from the wagon, standing before her. "I'm letting you choose now." The prairie seemed to hold its breath. Clara looked toward the road, then back at the man who had feared wanting her. Slowly, she reached out and took his hand. "I didn't come all this way to be brave alone," she said. Ethan's grip tightened, warm and steady. "Then stay." She smiled through tears. "Not because I was barred in. Because I was asked." He nodded, emotion stealing his voice. Together, they turned back toward the ranch, not as a transaction, not as strangers bound by paper promises, but as two people choosing, at last, not to walk alone.